Hello, everybody. Welcome to an edition of Moments with MindLeaps on this extra special Friday when I also have the chance to do an Instagram takeover. This is my first Instagram takeover ever. And we are on Instagram today with Program Director Jesse Hawks as we meet with a bunch of our friends, supporters, and connectors in Philadelphia. Our first chance to reconnect with so many people since COVID-19. So thank you for those of you who are following us on Instagram today on this takeover day. And a special thank you to those of you who are joining us for our Moments with MindLeaps edition today with one of our good friends, Emmy Turikumwe. And let me invite Emmy to join. We've always wanted to invite Emmy as one of our guests. Emmy has a long history with MindLeaps in Rwanda, an amazing story, and we've just been waiting for the right day to get the internet connection to work. Hi, Emmy, how are you?
Hi, Rebecca. I'm good.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe you're doing this interview with us. I know it's almost midnight in Rwanda.
Yeah, sure. It's midnight. I can see that my eyes is on.
Well, you know what, Emmy, my eyes always look like that, but that's just from not sleeping very much, not from it being midnight.
Yeah.
And I know that you're at the center right now, so I know what that, Bashir and Olivier and Martin know what it's like to be at the center late at night. We appreciate it, Emmy. Thank you so much for this conversation today.
My pleasure. Happy to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you. Emmy, I was just starting to tell our guests a little bit about you. You have a long history with MindLeaps, but your credentials exceed and surpass what we do at MindLeaps. This young man, for those of you who don't know Emmy, has graduated with an associate's degree in computer science in Rwanda, has traveled to China on a program, speaks Chinese fluently, is now currently training a team of 12 refugee trainers in Kigali, Rwanda, in an intensive train the trainer program, has been traveling the country this year when COVID allows to work with refugee trainers in the different refugee camps in Rwanda. And in his spare time has been sharing his love and generosity with so many youth in Kigali. Emmy, thank you for everything you've already done in your short life.
I can't say a lot, but thank you so much.
Emmy, no, you lived, before moving to Kigali for MindLeaps, you lived in the northern part of the country of Rwanda, which is different than the capital. For those people who've not had the chance to travel to Rwanda or have gone to Rugerero, tell us a little bit about what your community is like, what the place that you live in looks like.
So thank you so much for the question. So you're welcome for travel. Yeah, Western province of Rwanda is beautiful. It is a Lake Kivu mountains, a beautiful place. It's a near border of Congo, Rwanda and Congo. It's a border. It is a lot of places that you can travel. It is what we call amashuza. You can also go and amashuza. Yeah, it's like the hot water from the lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my community is beautiful, and where I live, it's in the village of survivors, near of genocide memorial, and it was a lot of history, and you can learn a lot. So please feel free to come and visit and learn more on country.
You know, Emmy, today I'm in Philadelphia, and there's an organization here in Philadelphia, which is, you probably don't even know this. This is one of the ways that I got to meet you and Rugerero. It's actually an organization based here in Philadelphia called Barefoot Artists, and it's run by this amazing woman named Lily Ye, who you might know from Rugerero. And she is the one that traveled to Rugerero and started arts projects in the survivor community. And I heard about Rugerero, and I heard about this work using arts in this part of Rwanda through Lily. So there's a Philadelphia connection today too.
Wow.
So now, Emmy, tell us, why did you choose computer science? How did you end up on that academic journey?
So everyone has a passion, but for me, I choose computer science. I dreamed like to have a lot of like a lot of skills, but also discover everything but in technology. But I didn't see any kind of like laptop. But on my on I remember I was in senior 3, in senior grade 9, and I wanted like a teacher who had a laptop, but I didn't have a chance like to type, even touch it. And I say like I was like I have to use this laptop, but I don't know what will happen, but I have to use laptop on my life. So after finishing my like after doing my examinations, I chose computer science. I really wanted to learn the computer science for more information about technology. So I was like high on my mind. So I wanted to discover
I
any kind of.
I have never heard that about you, Emmy. So thank you for sharing. But you know, it reminds me of something else, and I saw this in Rwanda, but not recently, like in early Rwanda history, where I was watching a computer science class, and everyone was only writing things down. Right? There was, like you say, there was no laptop, there was no computer in the whole classroom, even for the teacher.
Yeah.
And you remember thinking, like, gosh, what would it be like to learn how to use a machine without ever seeing the machine? And so what you describe, it's just, yeah, it's phenomenal. And now to think that you're the person who's teaching other kids at MindLeaps how to use a computer is really a wonderful story, Emmy.
Thank you.
So what about dance? Did you dance? Well, I think if I remember correctly, you were involved in maybe traditional dance. Tell us about your relationship with dance.
So my relationship is so before Matthew, I used to join martial arts, and I was good in that, but not really now. But I joined dance when I met you. So I saw you like doing, I saw you doing like Bagma, splits, doing everything. And then I said, wow, this is really amazing. So I loved it, and I chose the dance because of you.
Oh.
Yeah, it was many years.
Well, this must be my special day. I feel like I should do a Batman for you, Emmy.
Thank you so much.
Well, I could say the same in some ways. For those of us who have the chance to teach the MindLeaps class around the world, I mean, we all love dance before we start that journey, but we fall more in love with our craft and our art form when we get the chance to work with people like you. So it's a very special environment that we get to create together. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Emmy, now tell us, I know we've asked you to share this story before, but it's so interesting for all of us. You've also now found yourself in China. How did that happen? How did you learn Chinese? What are some of your strong memories from visiting that fascinating country?
Thank you. I was in my university, and so I got a scholarship, but it comes from Chinese embassy and Rwanda in Kung Fu national team. I was in Kung Fu national team, and they said like, thank you. They said like the people who graduated in high school who used to play Kung Fu, so there is a scholarship, but it's on traveling to China. But before that, you have to learn Chinese. So, and I said, wow, Chinese is very difficult, even writing, speaking. Then I said, but I was like, I have to travel. I have to go to China. I wanted really to travel ever in my life. So then I went in KIA, it's in Remera, here in Kigali. So I met with the Chinese. I started learning, and it was coming. So I was learning two programs, Chinese and at a university, at school. Then I was like fighting, learning, speaking every day. And then after 2 years, then they said, so this is the real time. You have to travel. And then I said, wow, this is my real time. This is my dream.
Ah.
So that's how I traveled.
And then
And
how
I
long?
spent,
Yeah, how long did you spend in China?
I spent a month and a half.
Oh, wow.
Month and a half. Yeah.
And did you travel into all parts of the country, or how, yeah?
I traveled a part called Chongqing. It's a district. It's a district called Chongqing,
Chongqing.
and Chongqing.
Chongqing.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's I was learning Chinese culture, different, like how it's different from Rwanda, and like everything, traveling, visiting the museum. So a lot, I learned a lot there. Yeah.
And so, if you had to describe people to people like me who've never been there before, how would you describe China in one word?
China is big and beautiful.
Two words, but
Yeah.
two good words.
The beautiful place.
Wow. And so, do you still have friends there? Do you stay in touch with the people that you met during your trip?
Yeah, I met with a lot of people. I have a friend on WeChat, so they don't use WhatsApp or Instagram, just WeChat. So I have them.
Which is like the Chinese version, right?
Yeah.
I've heard it, but I don't use it.
You should use it.
Oh my goodness.
It's good for communication.
I mean, you've tried to teach me how to say hello like 5 times in Chinese, and I never remember.
Okay. I think you remember.
Okay, well, gosh, I hope the audience is forgiving. I'll say this with my deep, earnest attempt. Xing xing.
谢谢.
Okay. I got some of the sounds.
Yeah, good.
Well, Emmy, since we're talking about Philadelphia today on Instagram, Jesse and I just had the chance to meet with Lisa Merritt. Lisa is a former board member of RDDC and of MindLeaps, and Lisa runs the department at Temple University for international students. And we were just talking about the challenges with COVID and the challenges with US politics to have these students from China study in our country, in the United States, here in Philadelphia. So it's very important for countries like Rwanda and all countries to have these opportunities for students to do these exchange programs. I mean, you can even see the effects of it with MindLeaps. I mean, more of us have been interested in China. We've asked you about China because you've been there. So those opportunities, although limited during COVID, of course, are so important.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing right now, like this week in Kigali. You're working with these refugee trainers. So for those of you who don't know, MindLeaps trains local people from our communities to run this dance program. And we've been working with these trainers who are themselves refugees and living in the different camps in Rwanda. And now they're in Kigali doing a special training with you. Tell us a little bit about why we're doing it, what you're teaching, how it's going.
Thank you. So the training is happening now, as you said, and it's for all the trainers, our local trainers, MindLeaps local trainers, come from 4 camps, which are Mugombwa, Mahama, Gihembe, and Kiziba. Yeah. So they came. They were selected. There were 26 refugee trainers, but we selected only 11. So they come for capacity to improve their capacity teaching, and also being a local staff of MindLeaps in their camps. So they are getting a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge, dancing, tracker, and discovering everything. So we spend like this is us 9 days for 9, yeah, and they are going to finish. We are going to finish next Tuesday. Then they leave on Wednesday. So they are still getting a lot of skills.
So
Yeah.
what is the most difficult thing to teach? Because for those of you who don't know, I mean, we're not just teaching dance. There's lots of different pieces to the program: financial management, how to do reports in PowerPoint, like computer skills, like what you learned, Emmy, at school, how to manage teams. I mean, there's so many things that you have to do to run the program. What's the most difficult thing to teach for you and Olivier?
So you know, you hear me, but my voice is I lost my voice.
That means you're teaching really well.
So like voiceover is it's like everyone is it's difficult for everyone,
Yeah.
but we're trying and more, but everything is going well, and I can't say difficult. It is a difficult thing, but I can say it's an experience. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, a voice. I mean, for MindLeaps trainers, we're really taught to project our voice and try to use our voice to touch like all parts of the space so everyone can feel that energy. But yes,
Yeah.
like you say, I mean, the consequence is that sometimes the teacher loses their voice. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice today too, Emmy, but I had the chance to teach with Tracy Voigt this morning, and I haven't been teaching the MindLeaps class. I've just been taking ballet classes. So even me, I almost lost my voice, and I only taught one class.
Remember. Yeah, it's happened.
It
Yeah.
happens, yes.
Yeah.
And on the flip side of it, Emmy, for the trainers, what do you think is the most difficult thing for them to learn, or the most difficult thing for them to like absorb?
So I can say they are like struggling, somehow struggling about stretching. Stretching is really tough.
Oh, it
So,
sounds like it's the same everywhere in the world.
yeah. Even Rebecca pose, it's tough.
Uh, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss all of you there. I wish I could be there and a part of your training, but I know you and Olivia are doing really important work there. So my hat goes off to you, as we say in American slang.
Thank you.
I mean, another thing I want to ask you about is that your English has improved so much this year. And I know that you're doing some work with one of our current board members, Catherine Smith. Tell us a little bit
Mhm.
about what that is and how you've improved so much.
So thank you. It is also my challenge this year. So I was like, so I from last year, I met Kathleen on WhatsApp. Met on WhatsApp, and so as you said, it was like my English was like, but now we have been a friend. We met 3 days a week, and she's my friend with my colleague. So we learn a lot of English versions, speaking, reading, pronunciations, like whatever, song, everything, culture,
Wow.
everything. Yeah. So I really thank Kathleen for his for his work. Yeah.
I don't, probably Catherine tells you this, Emmy, but Catherine also tells me how hard you work in that class and how much you're improving. And we're all very, very proud of you.
So thank you.
Maybe if Catherine taught me Chinese 3 days a week, maybe I would learn more.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So I mean, I've asked you a lot about things that are happening right now in your life, but what about the future? Like inside MindLeaps, outside of MindLeaps, not related to MindLeaps. What are some of the things
Okay.
that you really want to achieve? What are some of your goals? What are some of the things that you hope one day you say, I am this, or I did this,
Mhm.
or I went there?
Mhm. So as you said, I do have a vision for my side. So I signed the contract for my heart and my family. So my family, I want my family to be on the right place, and my community also. I have like I will do something that my community, my neighbors, my friend, my like everyone from my community to see good, like to when I want to like to really build something which will be helping the kids, raising the kids as I was there. So I want to build something which will be helping the kids, the vulnerable youth, and the poor family, and like everyone. So I have to achieve that. Otherwise, I'll be I'll be fail. So
Well,
yeah.
Emmy, from all the time that I've known you, gosh, maybe 10 years now. Yeah, 10 years now, maybe more.
Yeah. Um,
I've always, even before you were our student, there was something in you that really made us feel like you care about the community and you care about your country and you care about humanity. And
mhm,
I don't know how that's
mhm,
so strong in you, but we all admire that quality in you, Emmy.
mhm, mhm. Because of you.
Okay, that part we will talk about after the interview.
Okay.
Okay, so for our MindLeaps community, we have a very exciting event happening on Sunday. Emmy, do you know
Mhm.
what's happening on Sunday?
It is, I know it is a momentum. Well,
Tell us
yeah.
about it.
It's it is like an artist, a different artist who will be presenting Rwanda, Uganda, and the artists from all over the world. So it's yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
I know
so
it's
we hope that everybody will join. This is called Momentum. Last year
mm,
it was called Joy Against All Odds. And it's our opportunity, just
okay.
as Emmy says, to bring together our
Mm,
students and our dance teachers and other professional dancers from outside of our communities to come
mhm,
together and celebrate the art form of dance. No PowerPoint presentations, no no test, no exam,
mhm,
just a celebration of movement and something that is so universal and so needed as we try to
mhm.
fight these last challenges, these continuing challenges with COVID. So, Emmy,
Yeah,
we are
okay.
excited to have Rwanda, of course, represented on Sunday. And
Yeah.
yes, not that it's competitive,
Mm.
but but Emmy, thank you so
Okay.
much for being our guest today on Moments with MindLeaps. Thank you for sharing more about your story, more about your accomplishments, more about your dreams, and just spending that special time with all of us that makes our hearts a little bit lighter and a little bit happier because of this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy and so excited. Thank you so much.
Mirakoze
Yeah.
Chane, Ishura Giza, please get home safely in Rwanda tonight, and we can't wait to see you
Thank you.
soon.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody,
Bye.
and keep watching our Instagram takeover today from Philadelphia.